Without doubt, the hardest thing I've ever had to do is sit my boys down and tell them that their mum's not going to be around for very long.
Our pre-bereavement services are still quite fragmented in the country, and they very rarely think about the impact on children.
Packed up the photo album Matthew had made, memories of a life that's been loved.
It's a one-way door. Once you've told your children that their mum is going to die, there's no taking that back, and that's going to change their lives forever.
My focus got very narrow at the point that we thought, okay, this is it, and it was really about how can we look after the boys the best.
And sometimes you just want someone to talk to. And for me, it was very much, well, am I going about dealing with things the right way with the boys?
I had tried to contact some charities, but they all said, well, we can't help you until bereavement, which is really hard because you know that's coming, but you need help when you're in it.
Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down, but Mum, there's a tear every time that I blink.
Before Ruth died, she wrote down on a piece of paper, actually, what she would like the foundation in her name to be all about. There are two aims to the foundation. One is to raise awareness of the non-smoking related lung cancer that she died from. The second part of our mission is all about ensuring that when families receive that awful diagnosis that one of the parents hasn't got long to live, that the family is supported through that.
We're here to support people who are terminally ill from any condition, prepare them and their families and their children for death and dying.
You need help to explain to the children in a way that is loving and not scary, which is a really hard thing to do, and I found it impossible to find anybody.
And that's where the Ruth Strauss Foundation Family Support Team come in.
You were an angel in the shape of my mum. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up.
I love cricket. I knew about Ruth Strauss and read For Ruth Day. I'd watched it actually at Lord's that summer, thinking, well, actually this is going to be my situation pretty soon. I went on the website and sent an email just through the link. So it was great when I had an email back from Ines just saying, we'd like to help you, Dominic.
Your involvement allowed me to care for Rich and my children, and that was such a godsend for me. So thank you.
So for me, telling the children was the single hardest thing of this whole last year. I think the timing is important, but I think how you communicate to them is the really crucial bit. And the real game changer for us with the Ruth Strauss Foundation was telling us how, helping us figure out how to tell the children. So we went from a situation of sort of virtual panic that we were suddenly going to have two young children. We didn't know how to communicate with them, we didn't know how to look after them, to a situation where we were surrounded by people who had done this before and knew how to do it and knew how the children would react, how we would react, and the potential actions that we could take to minimize the pain of the whole thing.
I think Archie had suspected that Mummy was getting worse, that Rach was starting to decline her health. It was a kind of a relief, if that's the right word, to see that he was taking this in and he was understanding it and he got it. And that was a real kind of weight off our shoulders, that he wasn't thinking, oh well, Mummy might get better. He understood that his mum was dying. And whilst that was horrible, it was kind of a relief that he wasn't in denial and he got what was going on. So the fact that we were both involved in it in different ways, I think helped massively, and made a horrific situation much easier.
So one of the things that we discussed was making something for Lucie as a way for them to express themselves. So what I did instead of that actually was took it a bit further, and Lucie always loved giraffes. We created a picture of a giraffe which they put their messages on.
When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go, and when God takes you back, he'll say hallelujah, you're home.
It was a difficult thing for them to do at the time, so there were some tears when they wrote their messages on it, I did contemplate whether it was the best thing or not, but actually having done it, one of the last lucid moments that Lucie had was actually receiving that on Christmas Day and actually posting it on her Facebook page, saying, look what my boys gave me. It was the best thing we could have done. And also it's there for them to always look back on.
Ultimately, if you haven't been in a situation like this before, you have no idea what's right or wrong with kids, and you can potentially rely on a lot of advice that comes your way from different sources, most of which is well-meaning, but often it might be the wrong advice.
You can read any book in the world, you can look at any website, but you need to talk to someone. And just even if it's, actually, Dominic, you're doing everything the right way, well, good. Then I know I'm doing it the right way.
Death is a taboo subject and you don't talk about it, and when it's forced upon you, it's very easy not to talk about it, but it's going, like for Rich, we knew it was going to happen, and I couldn't bear the thought of him not being here and me not have being able to give the children the opportunity to, you know, hold his hand when he was really sick and for them not really to get the gravity of it, but they did. And that is because we were really honest with them. But definitely the Ruth Strauss Foundation allowed us to have those conversations because you helped us talk to them in a way that was safe for them. And I remember Jenny saying, children need to feel loved and safe. And that is just keep telling them that, and we did, and we told them every day, and we told them the truth, but we kept saying, you are loved, we love you.
I think too many people don't want to go there until it actually happens, but if you wait too long, then you're in the worst possible frame of mind to get support. You know, there's so much going on when a loved one dies. You're obviously not in a great place emotionally, so just being a bit more proactive about it, getting the right sort of professional help for people, we think can make a massive difference.
And that's where the idea for our family support service has come from. It's come very much from Ruth's experience of not being able to have the support to prepare her children for her death.
So I think in terms of advice to other families would certainly be have those conversations. They're hard and they're horrible, but I think it's probably more horrible for the children to not have them, for them to be kept in the dark and to not know what's going on.
For any family, the most important thing would actually be to get in touch with the Ruth Strauss Foundation earlier than I did. The earliest opportunity gives you more time to go about things the right way. I wish I had contacted the foundation earlier.
The Ruth Strauss Foundation was there for us at a really, really tough time, and we got in contact and they were so quick to help us sort our lives out, get in a better situation and deal with what was a horrible situation with a lot more confidence. And the benefit for our children is already clear.
When I went in to tell the boys, the little one was very upset, Jackson, our 8-year-old, but half an hour later he was fine. And Oliver, who's 11, had a few tears, and his first response was, I'm batting number 4 for the Colts A team tomorrow, and I still intend to play cricket.
I just wanted to say that the Ruth Strauss Foundation was like a professional handhold from afar, not a medical one that was really blunt and kind of formal. I felt that I contacted you and you were a hug from afar, especially as a carer. You can feel really alone caring for the person that is poorly, and you were my support, and I am so thankful.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that Ruth was courageous enough to allow herself and us to go there.